Good morning, viewers of roller derby around this beautiful country, around the world. Guten Tag, konnichiwa. Let's get on with some roller derby. Today we are in finals action. It is going to be a semi-final here. It's actually a quarter-final, I should say, for division number 3. We do have the Tweed Valley Rollers and the Light City Derby Sabres coming to you live and direct. My name is Pants.
And my name is Pants. No, my name is Chief Intent. And it is a bright and sunny Monday morning here in Adelaide. Our voices are just returning back to their beautiful state so that we can help introduce to you this great game at the start of the day here on our final day of roller derby.
Yep, final day of roller derby is the business end of the Great Southern Slam for 2022. One of these teams will progress to the semis. That will be on later. And we've got a 30-second call from the jam ref as well. So we are about to get it on and get things started. So lining up, we will go through the team list soon. Firstly, we're going to have Kif for the Tweed Valley Rollers. And just looking for the Sabres.
I saw Tweed Valley beat the Bellas yesterday.
You would have, yes.
Kif was a really strong jammer. So hopefully we'll see a lot out of them today.
Both teams just getting started here, just duking it out.
So for those at home, Tweed Valley are in the blue and Light City in the orange.
Yep, Haynes is the skater with the jam helmet cover on for Light City, and she's just gone through as your first lead jammer. Oh, big trying to swoop around the outside, met by 9-9 Evil Britches, and has to go back and try again. That's going to shake off a few cobwebs.
And it's a shame because cobwebs would be really handy in a game of roller derby because they could help you stick to the opponent players, take them down with you.
You're going back to your Spider-Man days there.
I am. I'm still there. I'm still in them.
The elusive fifth Spider-Man. The multiverse is real, people. The multiverse is real.
It sure is. Jumping from building to building, doing parkour, saying parkour while I'm doing it.
We are all Spider-Man.
We are. I'm Spartacus. So, Light City, 1 point out of there, giving them the first blood on the board, which is always a nice little moral victory.
All right. Looks like we've got Buster lining up for Tweed Valley Rollers for the Valks. And we've got Radish.
We've got watching out there at the moment here, Pants.
We've got a grand total of 7 people watching at the moment.
7 lucky people. You've got 2 commentators per 7 people. That's 1 point every 3.5 people.
Don't math at me.
It's a hell of a ratio out there.
Please don't math at me.
That's all right. I can take care of all the math.
Thank you.
No worries. I'm Spider-Man. Tweed Valley looking to find that inside edge. It looks like if that's Sugars. No, I can't see from here.
Radish is through as your lead jammer. It's going to be a power jam. And that is Sugars, being sent to the bin.
Sugars is a fantastic jammer, a really, really pivotal player in their team.
Well, I'm looking forward to Sugars not being in the Tic Tacs penalty box, so we can see what they can do.
So 777, a Radish, sort of rad.
Very rad. And picks up some points. So Light City have had a very easy path to the finals. Very strong team being fielded this year. It's worthwhile remembering that a lot of the rankings for this Great Southern Slam are based on what was done in 2018 and 2019. It's been a lot of water under the bridge since then. So Light City have recruited well, they've trained well, and also being in South Australia, we were one of the first states to be able to come out of lockdown and get back to training as well. So LCD have a lot of experience in the last year and a half as well.
You're seeing a lot of changes in teams, and no one is where they were back in 2018. And so you're looking at big teams like North Brisbane, Sydney Assassins, a lot of different teams out there, not the teams that were fielded back in 2018 and are in a totally different spot.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I don't know nearly anyone in Sun State. And so it's a totally changing field, which is great to see. I think there's a lot of talent spread around the leagues and a lot of different changes, which is really nice. And it's nice to not know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to know LCD train at the same stadium where Little Adelaide Rollers come out of as well. So what you're seeing is here, like, we've got Dark Side of Doom, we've got Haynes, one of the jammers. We've got a couple other players here. Super Fast Jellyfish is one of them. They're all ex-Little Adelaide Rollers.
Right.
Little Adelaide Rollers are a top 10 international junior league as well.
Right.
So we're dealing with a depth of talent. And the last few years, a lot of these juniors are aging up and are now taking their place in senior teams.
Yeah.
Superb athletics. Athleticism being on
There was a Little
display.
Adelaide Rollers player that went to VRDL as well. Was it Spanner? No, maybe not.
It was Burgess. Burgess is an ex. That she played for VRDL for a while, and
someone playing in one of the teams this weekend.
Yep. So
is it
yeah,
Pulp Friction? No.
It was. I'm going to kill myself. I should know.
Yeah, you're from Adelaide.
But yes, Snapper.
Snapper.
So yeah,
Snapper.
Snapper's ex-Lar as well, and now playing for the VRDL Lightning.
The Lightning, which is their A team here.
Now let's get back on some derby. Haynes. Speaking of ex-Lar, you got Haynes on track.
Way to start a Monday morning. Bit of an apex
getting
jump.
some air. Kiff is
coffee.
on track as well for Tweed Valley and picking up some
apex
points.
Jump.
Yep.
That's how you roll.
Haynes is going to do this all day, by the way.
Oh, really?
It's just terrifying to watch, and so cool and calm and collected as well.
Well, I mean, coming from Little Roller Derby, you're probably just you bred into roller derby. You know?
Yeah.
So it's part of your blood.
Well, back in my reffing days when I tried to skate, went down to Lyre every now and then to help out, and this is going back a few years. This is like 2018, and Haynes was there.
Right.
And showing clear talent then. Dark Side of Doom is also there as well. Dark Side of Doom's wearing the pivot cover. We've got an official review at the moment, so...
Great.
Or have we? We had a tease. I think they teased us with an official review.
Yeah.
Don't do this to us. The caffeine is not taken effect yet. All right. So yeah, Buster got a fan on the line. Good to see. Thanks, Lulu.
And that's Sugar's up again, it looks like, for Tweed Valley.
Yep. And Radish on for LCD. Radish is a really, really tall figure.
Radish is strong.
Yeah. And really agile as well. Like, sometimes the tall players don't get the agility to go with it.
Yeah, you tell that to Lady Trample.
I said sometimes. Occasionally, you get tall and agile, and these people are freaks and fun to watch. And Radish is definitely in that league as well.
Yeah, great. It's good to see. It makes a big difference. Height actually does make a big difference. And again, the really
I'll tell that to
lower statured players, the shorter ones.
Yeah, the shorter ones
are
just
also
swooping around.
Amazing, because you can't touch them. You can't even reach them.
Nope, they get down low.
So we're looking at 34 points to Light City and 10 points to Tweed Valley. And we're probably only about...
we're a few jams in.
Like 7 minutes in or something.
Yep. So Light City really looking to stamp their authority. At the moment, Radish is just happy to go around and keep collecting points.
Nice
but
hit there
unless
by number
80. Pain Terror.
Whee! Like
calls it off.
Terror.
No sneaky points there for Sugars at the end of the jam. We're going to be up to jam number 6 in a mo. And at the moment, it's 10 to 38. Light City with their noses in front. Hey, Cherry. Nice to have you on the feed watching the LCD play. Good to see some Adelaide support online. Cherry, of course, is here in spirit and in form as a printout, giant size life printout. So recovering from recent surgery back at home. We love you, Cherry, and thanks for joining us.
Meanwhile, Kiff on Tweed Valley is currently lead jammer and in a power jam situation as
it was Shorty.
City Derby.
Yep, Shorty got pinged for a penalty, so warming the tic-tac penalty box chair at the moment.
And we're going to really see Kiff capitalise on this.
Yep.
Kif is probably, I think, one of the most stable jammers that I've seen in being a really strong backbone for the team and very, very consistent.
Just absolutely snuck on past Fozzie Bear. Panic back on for Light City.
Nice.
Panic another X-La.
And as Light City get their complement back on track now, they're going to want to reform and see if they can put some stoppers onto Kif and sliding around, putting all those points on. We're currently sitting on 12, looking for another pass as we stand. Still another 50 seconds on the jam clock, but we also have short stack now back in play for Light City.
Yeah, Kif saw that Shorty completed her initial pass, so just called that off, got some extra points on the board.
Exactly. If you've got 16 to none, there's not much more you can do from that. They've really
That's really
brought
good.
That score back
to
12 points.
Yeah, so it's a 12-point spread at the moment. 38 plays 26.
Yep, nice.
Only a derby to go.
Oh, yeah.
Do love a few ability changes. Interesting here, the Light City have done this quite a bit, I've noticed in the past. They split the pack and then they just move in to shut it down. Didn't stop Sugars.
No. The combo of Sugars and Kif is a great little rotation.
Meanwhile, Haynes is through for her initial.
Tudo in the blocking there.
Oh.
The captain at the back.
The idea is to go around Sugars, not over the wall.
You tell that.
Multiplayer block called up against, that's Blackburn there. So off to the Tic Tac penalty box.
2-2 Tudo. 16 Haynes there. There's another jump on the Apex like you were talking about.
I was going to say, we should just have a button that we just push that says Haynes Apex jump. Haynes Apex jump.
So if you do have Apex jump on your bingo card at home, make sure you have a shot or whatever you're doing as a regard of that.
It's just like a Haynes bingo card, really.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
So
and the jam.
And that's 8-all, so no margin there.
I think there's a couple of extra points getting added. Here we go.
Right. Haynes got an extra few. That was odd. I thought Tweed Valley were in charge of that one.
It goes to show. It's a funny old game.
It is a funny old game. No reviews happening. I think maybe because that was Tweed Valley who got the extra points, because Haynes was not in front.
Now we've got our head ref just explaining a penalty to one of the Tweed Valley Rollers in the Tic Tacs penalty box. Looks like there was maybe it's a double foul. I think I saw a hand signal there for like an insubordination or something like that. So maybe didn't leave the track quickly enough.
It's really hard out there. There's a lot of competing noises, and you know, I was chatting to Anna Pavey over a couple of games ago, and she's like, look, you know, most skaters, they just honestly don't hear, and you get the insubordination, and it feels real bad.
Well, it's part of your role as a skater to listen.
That's true. It's
if
just
you can.
Real hard out here.
It is a big metal box that we're playing in, and there are 3 games on right now. Got the challenge bout on with track 3 at the moment, the last challenge bout of the tournament, which is cats versus dogs.
Oh, yeah?
How cute is that?
Dogs
I don't know
win,
because I can't see it. Oh, well, I don't know. Cats will just sneer and win. We will see.
No,
we will
dogs
see.
Are awesome. We should be commentating that.
They are the best people. No commentary on track 3, sadly, this tournament. But hey, you never know. In the future, we could get something going.
That's like a choose your own adventure. You can commentate that at home by yourself if you wanted to watch it. But you're not watching that. You're watching this, all 4 of you.
We're still at 7. Alrighty.
Sugars on the jam.
Oh,
line.
beautiful poise. That was like absorbed that full hit.
Very
stayed
strong
in.
on her skates, Sugars.
Meanwhile, we've got Lou in the 1-9 for 2-9, I should say, for LCD, and is through for her initial.
Good momentum, good defense on re-engaging with Sugars by Light City there. Really stopping her momentum.
Yep, I apologise. It's their initial pass for Lou. We'll do our best with pronouns, but we're just going to keep doing our best.
It is hard, but we're always committed to inclusivity and diversity and ensuring that everyone's identities are respected. However, after 55 million games, and every time we get handed a sheet at the start of that game, We're only human, so we do try our best. So
we'll keep trying our best for you guys.
Oh, right down the inside, but getting a nudgeroonie, and so that jammer, I think that's Haynes.
Yep.
Not lead. Kiff's got lead here, only by a nose, mind you, and Haynes,
the flaming wheels.
Speed of light. I wouldn't be surprised if Kiff calls this. No, not going to. Wants to pick up those points.
Oh, relying on the defense, and Haynes comes crashing to the deck.
Putting faith in her blockers, and that is great work there from Kiff. How did that get called off without Kiff? I'm pretty sure.
I think maybe there was a word between the rest, like who was actually in lead, and it turns out Haynes was in lead.
Oh, they changed. That was odd because
they went through basically at the same time. And I reckon on the back straight away from us, they must have had a word of God. No, I reckon Haynes was in front, and the other one goes, yeah, you're right.
40 metres away had a better view.
Who would have thought? And us we're both legally blind.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. I'm hearing a great game out there. 45 points to 51. There's only 6 points in it now.
Oh, straight. This is awesome. Radish on the outside gets through and is LCD's lead jammer for this one.
Tenacious T is just having a bit of a rest. I think it got windy. Just took herself out there. So we'll see how that is. That might have just been a changeover, but we'll see how that goes.
At the moment, there's only the LCD jammer, so they haven't called things off.
We are calling first aid over here for Tenacious T, so hopefully she's good.
So yeah, at the moment the TVR jammer is receiving some medical attention, and they haven't stopped the jam.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
If someone was down on the track, the jam would have been stopped. But because she's taken herself off to the side, they have just kept playing. I'm not too sure on how and it is a jam where now suddenly Light City are really quite dominating.
Well, it's basically a power jam for the whole jam.
A power jam for nothing when the jam is injured. So it is a tough call, because had the jammer just fallen where she was, they would have stopped this.
We do have a poll running on the feed at the moment, so prediction time, who do you think will win a spot in the finals later today? Being totally impartial, I'm not going to vote on it because that's the only way I can see the result, but I'd be interested to hear about it. Well, yeah.
Well,
who will win a spot in the finals later today is the question.
Surely it's got to be Lightning versus Adelaide in that final.
Well, it is. The Div 1 finals already sorted.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the VRDL Lightning versus Adelaide Roller Derby. It's actually the first time Adelaide have made the Div 1 Grand Final at their own tournament.
Well, I'm sure they'll be keen for that.
So they are.
This is an official.
So excited.
Team timeout now coming over here. That was a 16-point jam.
Yep.
In a situation where the jammer was injured at the start and then given a power jam over to Light City. So, interesting situation, really.
Yep.
Because they were obviously given it an advantage by being the only jammer on, and for the full 2 minutes being the only jammer on as well.
Just listening to the head ref at the moment with the St. John's, you can see them on camera in front of us. But that is the ruling, that if there is an injury,
from gameplay.
If you remove yourself from gameplay, they don't have to stop the jam.
Isn't that interesting? I don't think I've seen that before.
It was just a winding, so the jam is fine. Just got their breath back and everything's fine now. But yeah, if the injury is on the track, they're going to stop for safety.
Wow.
If you take yourself off, then it's up to you.
Suffering your jocks.
Yeah. So we're back with Sugars, who's now your lead jammer. Shorty through for her initial as well. So we are back to the Derby the way it ought to be played. Light City are light on with blockers at the moment. Oh, Sugars.
Great work.
That was like a one-skate apex leap.
And that's what you expect to see from Sugars all through this match.
Yeah.
Trying to make up some of those points they just lost there.
It's a solid 20-point lead at the moment to LCD.
It'll be interesting to see if it is a margin of less than 16 points.
Yeah, we finally worked out it was Snapper, who's the Xlar who plays for VRDL Lightning. My brain, people, my brain. Oh.
So we've got Kiff up on the jammer line here for Tweed Valley.
Up against Lou.
Lou
at the back, trying to get their way through.
Lou trying to get her way through.
Lou's
unit. And
so Lou is now through on the apex and picked up lead jammer. Where is he? Is it they?
Mine's out of whack. Mine's out of whack.
We'll get it sorted.
I've got him in the wrong spot.
Foxy Bears.
Where's that?
Lou.
Is that right?
Yep, so FOC Bears at the Lou's skated.
Totally different list. Look, it's not the same list. My apologies. We've been given a bit of a schmozzle of a pronouns list. So I'm just trying to confirm that now.
We're working it out.
We want to make sure we've got it all right.
We want to make sure everything's
just
good.
Checking what we've got our information here.
That's okay. We've been making up. Nice work from Radish to get through, and she's your lead jammer. Sugars all cut tracks, so it's now a power jam to LCD. An honest to goodness power jam, the way that nature intended it to be. Radish around the outside, knocked out by 8008 Buster. And 1618 Fossey Bear coming through for a bit of a help, but not able to do it legally, so off to the Tic Tacs penalty box. So we are 3 versus 4. Tweed Valley with the full complement of blockers online. And now Radish been pinged for a forearms, so it's time for a jammer change over. Sugar's already back on track, so Radish is now going to have to sit down for 30 seconds and watch Sugars go to town on the LCDD.
Well, exactly, and I don't think I've seen LCD come up with a very effective plan yet for Sugars. She's had full reign of this track when she's been on it. So having a jammer power situation is definitely going to hurt LCD right now.
Yep, so Dr. Zappy throwing a whole body at Sugars, and Sugars just went, I'm around you already. Look at me go.
And look, this one thing I really like about Tweed Valley is that they do come in and support their jammer when their jammer's coming through. Nice offensive blocking that comes into play with Tweed Valley. Yep. And so we'll certainly see a lot more of that as it comes through. A cut track now being called, and I think that's
it's Radish again.
Radish again. So this is really going to hurt them. It's going to go the full another 10 seconds on this jam with no one can call it off. Sugar's looking to put some more points on the board.
And it's going to be a power start.
I think that's the 4 there, and going to get a power start for the next one. So exactly what they were looking for. And interestingly enough, so now there's 12 points the difference.
Yep.
So, I mean, look, I don't want to harp on about it, but they would be in front had that medical situation not occurred. But it did occur. It is roller derby, and that's how we roll. So we're going to work with the 12-point deficit that we've got at this stage and move past that. No use hanging up on things like the past.
Nope. Officials' timeout at the moment, just a need to fix up the track over here on turn 1. Yep, Dark Side of Doom fans. Doom's on at the moment, wearing the pivot cover again. So we'll see some Doom action coming up your way. All skaters on track just having a bit of yabber at the moment, discussing a bit of strategy.
Oh, yeah, the old strategy. So this is great, considering Light City, like you were saying, have had a bit of a clear run through the competition. So it's really nice right now. These two teams are obviously quite well matched. They're coming at it strong. It's tit for tat when it comes to jams. And we are seeing a really good matchup in terms of blockers and jammers.
Oh, and the beautiful work from Dark Side of Doom. They got the best of Kif. The final push out with the hips. So Kif had to go back and try again, but now through on the inside.
But passive persistence beats resistance, and Radish is now out of the blocks again. So we do have a jammer situation, but unfortunately a little too late as Kif is already the lead jam.
Meeting Fozzie Bear there on the back straight. Nice tripod here from LCD, but Kif is too fast and too strong. Meanwhile, Dark Side of Doom did the apex jump.
Doom. Oh, and out.
Out of play block.
Yep. Which was pretty much out of play.
It was out of play and out of time, the jam being called. So
and out of sight. And we saw it though.
Yeah, well, it was right in front of us for a change. So yeah, Fozzie Bear off to the Tic Tacs penalty box.
Waka waka, a banana.
Timeout called by Light City. Let's have a bit of a look at our wonderful sponsor list.
I don't need to look at the sponsors. Have you been over to the massage place? There's a massage place here that does $1 a massage.
$1?
For a minute. $1 a minute.
$1 a minute.
Yeah, $1 a minute.
I was going to say $1 massage there.
Look, they haven't yet given me a 1 minute massage. But
you're not that cheap, surely.
No, I'm cheaper. I was going to go and see if I could get a 30-cent massage. And I did the math, and it was about 23 seconds worth of a massage. But I don't think they're keen. But $1 a minute, and you can go in for 10 minutes, $10, 20 minutes, $20, no discounts. Who are they, though?
I thought you knew everything.
I know everything except for who they are. It's hard to plug people when you don't know who they are.
It's Odyssey Health Practices.
Odyssey Health. Good old Odyssey Health.
I want to say a big thank you to Beardcasts as well.
Thank you, Beardcasts.
The bearded glory that is Beardcasts, bringing us the live stream here that you are enjoying. So it's been an absolute pleasure to work with Niall over this weekend.
You're the first actual other bearded person that I've met who are commentating on Beardcasts. Everyone else, no beards.
People just don't understand.
Well, it's nice to know that we're not excluding the non-beardies, but it is good to be finally on the mic with a beardie.
Another one.
Admittedly, mine's barely a beardie.
That's all right. It's beardy enough.
Exactly.
It's facial fuzz.
There's a couple of hairs on me chin. That's what counts.
Shorty up for LCD at the moment. Zigzagging through, though. Yeah. Sugars is your lead jammer.
And look, we are really poised right now to potentially get a lead change, which is super exciting because we've seen a large Tweed Valley response in the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
It has been mainly a Tweed Valley controlled game in the last 10 minutes. And if this is the lead change, it's because of some hard work and just consistent jamming. And we've got ourselves a real game on our hands.
It's top work here.
So
it's good to see.
They get the 4 points. They're going to call it. They called it.
They called it.
Sugars called it. How many points? 2 points. That means we're now sitting on a 2-point game. There's only 2-point differential.
Wow. All right, Derby fans, you asked for it. You got it. It is finals action coming your way on the Great Southern Slam today. And this is exactly what we've all been hanging out for. Oopsie Daisy doing star jumps with the jammer helmet on. A bit of shimmy shake.
Name.
Oopsie. Yeah.
That's a great name.
So up against Kif. Kif is just game face. The eyes are set.
Look, I don't think I've seen Kif smile all tournament, but why do you need to smile when you're kicking ass?
Oopsie makes her way through. And here we go with some Kif action.
Oh, I think we've just had ourselves a lead change. Points on the board and calling it. That is going to put Tweed Valley Rollers in charge and in front for the first time this game.
There we go. 77 playing 75. We're up to jam 18 of this first period.
Yep, and we have a roaring crowd out here of 12 people. And they are
there's a lot of fans here. We've got an LCD crew. We've got ourselves a Tweed Valley crew on the other side of the track. So There's a crew. I see Rockabellas here from South Australia. They're watching the action.
I do like Rockabellas. Are they from South Australia?
Yeah, they're from all over.
An amalgamation of 3 different leagues.
Well, it's not an amalgamation. It's actually 3 different franchises, if you like.
Just joining forces for TGSS.
Well, it's still the one league, but they have 3 different locations in Adelaide. So they take care of the sort of outer north metro, our hill suburbs. They're a bit distinct. And the outer south as well.
All right.
So these are for people who they saw a need because it's like Adelaide's such a long town,
right, with
the north and south. Adelaide Roller Derby, LCD Murder City are all sort of placed in that sort of centre area.
Yep.
But people who want to play derby, like there used to be a Gawler Roller Derby League back in the day.
Yeah.
But it just they kept struggling with numbers. But Bellas, who are based at Mount Barker, went, let's get the Gawler League back up. Let's do it. So they set it up. They got it going, built the community, and now it's a strong league. They're doing really well.
They did really well. Passion Fingers, awesome over there. I saw them play against Tweed Valley, and that was neck and neck.
Yep. No, Bellas have come in leaps and bounds in the last few years. Yep. Even with the COVID break, they still were able to keep the membership going because of that strong community spirit.
Yeah, real passionate league. It was really awesome to see.
Meanwhile, Lou is got the helmet cover stash going, and it is Kif at the moment, just working her way around the wall at the moment. Split the pack.
Safe. Thought there was a slight chance of a cut there, but it wasn't.
Extra 3 points there for Kift and calls off the jam.
Looks like we're just going to go tit for tat right now. So Light City, brief moment back in front.
Yep.
Tweed Valley now back in front by 1 point. This is the kind of roller derby that I love to see.
Yeah. It's like we might check on the score at some point because it's just going to be lead changes from now on, I reckon.
Well, this is what happens on finals day. On finals day, on the first 2 days, sometimes there's these big scores and like 400s to under 50s and big numbers. And then everyone who got those high scores then has to play each other. And all of a sudden, those numbers start tightening up.
Oh,
Haynes, Apex jumping her way through to the ground.
I think that was actually the sideline jump rather than the Apex. That's a specky move if you can pull it off. Sugars, meanwhile, around the outside, swoop, and it's through as your lead jammer.
It's funny. I'm guessing Radish and Haynes probably don't get this kind of level of resistance or have had it.
All right. Haynes and Exit Mob coming a cropper there on the sideline, and Haynes is down at the moment. Looks like got quite a strong hit there to the midsection.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's just a winding, but
there is breath happening and raising and lowering of the chest. Face. Haynes is face down at the moment.
Yep. Breathing deeply. But Haynes is a tough unit for being such a slight build.
No doubt.
You know, so getting Haynes down is quite a significant event.
It is tough roller derby out here. And,
oh, gosh, yes.
And it is cold concrete. It's unforgiving and definitely tough stuff.
All right, Haynes moving and looking to get up. Oh, no, it's
very gingerly.
It's
All
right. Haynes making her way to the side, but they're supporting her left arm at the moment, so
she is not in a good way. That I would not be surprised if that is Haynes out for the rest of the match.
Alrighty, not happy, but
definitely
in good hands with our St. John's volunteers right now.
Absolutely, and a lot of training goes to get to this point. A lot of energy and expectation comes to this point. It's really hard coming out of here with an injury. A lot of close personal friends have ended up perhaps even in hospital at a juncture like this. I don't think that's where this is going to end up, but it's really heartbreaking.
Yep.
And so hearts go out from the officials and the commentating here to Haynes, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. and she can still enjoy the after party later on. It is.
I was going to say I'm not sure that Haynes is overage yet.
Oh, really?
17, I think.
Oh.
So officially, I'm not sure, but
we can sneak her in the back.
All right.
Yeah, that's right, because this is the first TGSS where they've accepted under 18s, 16s and up, not 18s and up, which is interesting.
Yep.
So whilst Haynes is off with the medicos, giving a hug to a partner.
We'll just see. At the moment, the St. John's are still there.
Yeah.
But
it's an emotional...
And now they're heading back. So maybe, I hope that it's just that Haynes is a bit shook up by the impact rather than anything actual physical.
Maybe.
Physical
it's a hard thing to sort of deal with everything coming at once. And this is the reason that sometimes on the really big matches you'll see crowd of refs all skate around that skater and protect them, because the extra impact of having an entire audience looking at you in this moment where you already feel really terrible it's really hard to sort of deal with emotionally. But I'm glad that she's got support over there.
Yep.
And sometimes you look at these people who come to roller derby to support their partners in the corner, all weird and awkward, and you're like, what's in it for you? And this is why they're here.
Yeah,
to support their partners and support their loved ones in that game that they love.
Okay, we're getting Derby back on. So Radish is now through. Not the lead jammer. It is Kiff that's lead jammer at the moment. Just made her way through and called it before Radish could get any points.
That was very lucky, because Radish was definitely in the mood to put some
on a
points
tear.
on the board.
Yeah. Well, 3 points down at the moment. 79 for Light City, 82 for Tweed Valley.
Yeah.
Heading towards the business end of this first half. Exit Mole with the toe stopper on the pivot line, absolutely staking a claim there. So I ain't going nowhere. Put some Ted pegs in there through that toe stop. We're done. We're sorted.
Yeah, get a bit of road rage going on.
All right, launching at the back of the pack is Shorty, and also with it, Sugar's up the inside line.
Sugar's absolute superstar.
Able to shake off Stitch there, no mean feat. Stitch, an awesome blocker for LCD. Darkside Doom doing a double hand whip for Shorty.
That is how you apex jump.
I'm getting some specky action from both jammers here. Double hand whips and apex jumps.
Great job, Sugars.
Nice stuff.
She's so nice as well. You know, it's funny, just going back to the injury there, like my wife was a jammer for many years, and as someone who's, a commentator, it's a bit different, because you then have to commentate your partner getting smashed into the ground, which is not exactly the best way to go. You should be running over, and here I am on the microphone going, "Oh, she looks all right. I reckon she'll be okay." But it is hard being on the side, and it's a full contact physical sport where people get hurt.
Absolutely.
And so it is part of it, you know. And when it's a bruise here and there, or a bit of a puffed up lip where you've hit the
bruising is trophy time.
Exactly. It's a sign of admiration. You're like, check it out. You put a circle around it, put their name on it. You know,
upload it to the team chat.
It's a trophy.
Yep.
It's just that fine line when a trophy becomes a lifetime long disability. And all of a sudden you're replacing bones in your leg with metal bits. Polyalloy had so much metal put into her legs.
What, have you ever skated there? You ever gave it a go?
No, I'm a terrible skater. I can barely even stand up.
I tried for a little bit, and doing some training with LCD actually at one point, and fell down landed correctly but it was on my bum.
Yeah.
And got a bruise like the size of a grapefruit.
Jesus.
Absolutely massive. Went to the physio, and the physio said, "You've got a corked bum."
Oh, no.
A corked bum. And they're going, "Can I have that in writing?"
Like a fine wine.
It definitely did age well, that bruise. Kiff through, picks up 4 points for Tweed Valley.
And so Kiff's
Lou is through. Isley Jammer. 4 points. Asking the question.
Kiff's getting more here than I think Light City did. Yeah, 7-4.
Yeah.
It's always a good sign.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of miscommunication from the bench there. It's like maybe they should have called it off a little bit sooner before Kif hit the back of the pack. But that's okay. Communication's just one of those things. You got to get it right all the time, and sometimes there is a little bit of a breakdown that occurs. Again, Exit Mole's taking that claim on the pivot line. So we just rename the pivot line to the Exit Mole pivot line and we'll be done.
We're still yet to see Tenacious T, who did come off earlier for that winding for Tweed Valley return. So we'll see how that plays out. We do also have a lead jammer here in Radish.
I think we had a false start against Sugars.
Out there by Sugar, who's now resetting Radish and stopping that momentum.
Sugar's sat on that jam line for quite a while. I think just making absolutely sure I'm not going to get any penalties here for the false start.
Oh, and not just that, I think she's well aware that Radish is now the biggest contender for the jammers in Light City's lineup.
Just wanted to
rattle her a bit.
Get some jammer on jammer action.
Yeah.
Bit of loving.
Yeah, because look, Radish is tall, she's confident, she's agile. It's definitely a player you want to shut down, and I can imagine in previous games to this one how incredibly versatile Radish would have been against other teams.
And an 8-point to nothing jam as well. So now it's a 3-point spread. TVR still in front, but it's cut back that lead big time.
And I can see Haynes from over here. I don't think there's a broken arm. The arms are both raised up in the air and clasped. So maybe, fingers crossed, it's no permanent damage and just a bit of a temporary damage.
Hopefully we'll see Haynes back on track.
Hopefully for them. Can you come back on track after you've been taken off for medical reasons?
Yeah, after 3 jams.
3 jams, right?
Yeah. So it's definitely been 3 jams. So Haynes could come back anytime they want.
Yep. Cool. Kif trying to get on the outside edge there. Number 75, 79 short stack here for LCD.
Shimmy shake.
Trouble here with those front tweed head.
Absolutely getting rattled here.
Kif, though, on the outside, getting re-enveloped by LCD blockers and finally making their way through to the front, and lead jammer goes to Tweed Valley.
Bit of extra loving from Riff Raff there. Got to go to the penalty box to pay for their sins.
Yeah, so that was a scoring pass. My apologies. I thought that was an initial pass. So 4 points on the board. This is now scoring pass for short stack and another for Tweed Valley. So let's have
points for everyone.
Everyone gets some points. You get some points. You get some points. Oprah Winfrey gets some points.
It is now half time, and what a time for Tweed Valley. They've cracked the century just as we come to the end of the first half.
A nice moral victory heading into the half.
And 94 on the board for Light City. It is all to play for.
We had some big margins get made up in that half, and if that is any sign to show what we're going to be looking at in this next half, I can't wait to see how this game develops. It could be absolutely anyone's game, to throw out a commentator trope into the universe over there. But big thank you to all 7 of you out there that are listening to us. You got a special treat, 2 world-class commentators in Chief Intent and Pants, bringing to you this Monday morning good time.
If this is the best the world has to offer, we're all in trouble.
These mics even on.
All right, we'll have a quick break. Enjoy your hot cup of whatever you need. We'll see you back in a few minutes.
That's right. Mine's not. Mine's back on.
Oh, you're on as well?
Okay, I don't even know if I'm on loud. Let's shout out to our 7 people.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
I don't know if we're on or not, but we'll find out soon, I guess.
ADRDA, is that us? The BCR? No, that's not us. Where's the bloody live ones? Here we go. Challenge cats versus dogs.
Nope.
Is this ND?
Nope.
No. Where is it?
TVR versus LCD. You scroll past it.
No, that's
Nope.
that's old school.
That you just went past it again. Read the things. No, that's ND. Down. There it is. TVR LCD.
It's not got the live thing. Oh, we got 47 people now.
7.
47.
Have you?
Yeah, look.
Strike. Oh, thank you very much for telling us we're on. Good to be back with you, Derby fans. Quick score update from the other tracks. At the moment, half-time on track 1, Nerdy Dragons are on 79 points. The Valley Cats are on 53, so pretty close game there. But the game of the tournament so far, a challenge track, track 3, Cats versus Dogs. The Cats are winning.
No, I don't want to hear it.
By 2 points.
Bloody
It's a
Cats.
2-point game at halftime. The refs, of course, having a lot of fun with this. They've been handing out some special penalties. They've been calling no pats.
Oh, no pat called.
And also handing out the mutt track penalty.
Well, weirdly enough, we're actually inside, but I looked over there before. The whole track is wet because it's just raining cats and dogs out there.
Hey!
And
They've also been calling forearms.
oh yeah, forearms penalty. Yep.
And of course the Meowty player penalty.
Meowty player block.
So refs also enjoying themselves here at the Great Southern Slam. Of course, we are very grateful to all the officials who've made time and put in such a huge effort to get over here.
Absolutely. And I mean, look, it's really great to be able to invite cats and dogs in to play the game that we love.
It's a truly inclusive sport.
It is. It is tricky to get the skates on, but once they're on, you can't get them off.
Alrighty, Haynes back on track to jam for LCD, and Sugar is going to get things started, already directing traffic from the back of the jam line.
That's right. Oh, sugar, you are my candy girl.
And you're getting owned by the LCD defense at the moment. Haynes is through to be your first lead jammer of the half.
And look, it is great stuff when you see a skater come off and then come back on, usually with a renewed sense of tenacity, and Haynes is definitely doing just that. First jam in, and already looks $1 million again.
Yep, 4 points. The game face, the nerd, the absolute game face calls off the jam. The determination is there. Great to see Haynes on track. And Evil Britches sitting in the Tic Tacs penalty box at the moment for TVR, so it's going to be a slight pack advantage to LCD to start our second jam.
One jam in, and we've already got a lead change. Light City's straight back in front.
101?
Yeah, 101 to 1-0. So we've got ourselves the game of the day so far. I mean, admittedly, it's the first game of the day, but you know, I'm not one to look a gift horse in the teeth.
We've only got 3 grand finals coming later, but
that's right.
Let's call it now.
At the moment, best. Oh, and Radish as well.
Yep,
Streams on
Giff is through.
Look, Tweed Valley going into this half was looking really, really strong, and LCD must have had a little chat over there in their team, because they have come out firing.
Yep. All guns blazing. This is roller derby at its finest. You just had that halftime. You got that 15-minute reset. Right. How do you react? How do you respond? Where can you bring up that extra energy that you need? Where does it come from?
Oranges. At halftime is
oranges and tigers
across the line. That's why they give you oranges. Superfood. Sugar back on the line, up against Lou's unit.
Yep.
And Lou's unit.
Up the side.
Lead. At
Fantastic.
The moment.
Awesome to see Lou's unit getting through there for lead jammer for LCD. Meanwhile, Sugar's on an absolute blinder, absolutely flying through the pack.
Sugars is such a strong jammer, but it is really awesome to see LCD and manage to stay in their Lou's unit. Great great footwork.
Yeah, able to just escape the clutches of Buster to pick up the 4 points in the call.
And I don't think Lou's unit have had great success against Sugar so far, so it's really good to see Lou's get up in that circumstance and put 4 points on the board and lengthening that lead to a whopping 5 points.
And so Kif on track for TVR up against Haynes again. This is going to be an awesome matchup throughout this half.
The best 47 viewers in the world. You are dead right, Tammy Giselle, or Giselle. I don't know how to say your name, but that's okay. I can read it. And this jam is off.
Haynes around the outside.
Around the outside.
Do-si-do your partner.
2 roller derby girls go round the outside, round the outside.
Kif, meanwhile, getting some loving from the LCD defense. Oh, big hits, no troubles.
We are looking at a different LCD out after the break than we saw going in. They were a little rattled and they were losing a little bit of the edge, but they have come back fighting in this second half.
Want to exert some dominance early, get a lead and establish it and hold on.
Well, and look, just keep that strength up. I mean, it is a game of momentum and control.
Mm-hmm.
You need to control your the whole output, plan your strategy, but you need that momentum. It makes such a big difference.
And suddenly it's a 12-point lead to LCD.
Look at that go.
Yep. But we saw this in the first half as well. It's a game of momentum. It's a game of swings and pendulums and all that sort of stuff. It's a weird game.
That's right. And with such a good jamming lineup and great defense happening from both these two teams, it's really, really hard to see which way this is going to swing at the moment.
Radish just looking to power through the middle.
But Sugar takes that line. Great defense here by 8008. I reckon
that's
8008.
Buster. Absolutely blinder of a game here from Buster.
That has got to be one of the most popular numbers here. And I
Only
don't
one
know
of
why.
them.
I just don't know why.
My favorite is 247. It's just like I just go all day, all night, 24/7. You can't not stop me.
Yeah, no, don't stop me now.
Exactly.
Jammers are in the bin now, and they're gonna come out.
And it's all my fault. Sugar, meanwhile, getting through. Nice step up the inside line, but caught there by, that was Fozzie Bear again.
Well, with both jammers doing a brief stint there in the sin bin, no one's going to be able to call this off. So we've still got a full 1 minute in this jam.
Awesome.
We'll see
Love
how
a 2 minute jam because this is where you're in the second half. You're starting to feel a little tired, a little sore. Suddenly it's a 2 minute jam.
Yep.
You're going to have to dig in deep.
Well, and not just that, you've got to play with the dice as they lay. There's no one sitting there going to magically call it off just as soon as you get to the back of the pack. You've got to work with what you've got. A nice hit there.
That was Blackburn.
6:01 and 16:18.
Yep.
Fozzie Bear and a Blackburn.
Yep.
Good defense there. Really putting Sugar on their bum.
This is a really excellent unit here. We've got Panic and Dark Side of Doom as well on track for LCD. So this is an excellent defensive unit. Sugar's finding it hard.
Really surprisingly amazing blocker. Not the world's most solid person.
I'm going to let you on a little secret.
Yeah.
Dark Side of Doom is one heck of a blocker.
Amazing.
Absolutely mobile and strong.
Really reminds me of Barry, Lauren Foote from VRDL. Just impossible to push over. Not a huge person. Not a big, heavy-set person, which a lot of blockers can be. But we have someone who's quite slight of build, quite sort of moderate height, just owning the track. And it's absolutely amazing to see because it shows that track awareness that a good blocker, blockers and jammers and all kinds of derby players can take all body shapes and all sizes. And that's what I love about it.
But this is the best thing about this sport is that it's not your traditional athletic shape people who can be stars.
Absolutely not. And I remember way back in the day when Texas came down and played VRDL in Melbourne and Olympia. I don't know if you ever saw Olympia from Texas. A really, really sort of large-framed woman. And she was knocking the absolute crap out of every skater that tried to move her. And it was amazing to see. Like, I come from a big family. Like, all the women in my family are big. We're big men in the family as well. So it's really great to see a bigger person being admired for their athletic ability because you spend your whole life just being sort of judged by others in that capacity quite often. And roller derby is the place for you if you're just a bigger person, and you don't want to be treated that way anymore, because everyone's equal here, and it's fantastic.
I think it does marvellous for self-confidence when you're part of a community.
Absolutely.
Where everyone loves what you do on the track, no matter what you're contributing.
That's right.
And it builds yourself up from the inside. You can hit the real world, and people might give you a bit of stick every now and then. You just go, you should see me on the weekends,
exactly.
But I smash people for a living.
Exactly.
And it's awesome.
It's a great big reset on all the societal judgments that the rest of the world like to place on people. And you can just be judged, or just be accepted, not judged, for who you are and who you want to be.
Yep. This is where it happens, folks. Now, TGSS coming to a conclusion a bit later today. We're going to have all the tracks coming to you, all the games coming to you on YouTube, so stick around. We've got quarterfinal and semi-final action this morning. This afternoon is where the business really kicks off. We're going to have our Div 3, Div 2 and Div 1 grand finals coming your way. It's going to be just massive.
An epic day of roller derby. Cassie Leah said that she was at the VRDL Texas bout. It was sensational. It was a real turning point for VRDL. You know, they went from being a real local league to going, right, let's see what we can do internationally. And they got their asses handed to them. And they loved it.
That's a technical term.
Yeah. Absolutely loved it.
Alrighty, Shorty on for the power start.
Short stacks.
Yep.
Trying not to pancake it.
Around, getting a little help there from Blackburn, just making sure everything's
good work by Riff Raff to rejoin to make a good strong 3-wall in front of that 3-stack. Some of the defense is coming to help in, because it looks like we are really, really low on Tweed Valley skaters out there.
Yep, only 2 now, with Riff Raff hitting the Tic Tacs penalty box, but Lee Jammer now to Shorty.
Massive numbers superiority out there. Certainly going to want Sugars is now back in.
Yep.
Hopefully we can keep these numbers to a minimum, and Sugars is through.
Yep, Fozzie Bear and Blackburn combining there nicely to hold Sugars up for a vital few seconds.
Short stack calling it.
Yep.
So it was really good to get only 4 points there, and really stop a large number coming on that board with such a small pack.
These are your players. Apparently you don't have these yet.
Ah, thank you. A little bit more.
All right, it's officials timeout here. It's a 15-point lead to Light City Derby. I want to do a little shout out here to Cove Print. They've been a family business. They've been in business for 22 years in Adelaide. They've been doing a lot of promo work for ADRD throughout that time. They've been doing all the printing you see around at TGSS, but they'll be the people to talk to about all sorts of stuff if you're needing something printed. We've also had a lot of help regarding promotion from Mad Promo Poster and Flyer Distribution. They've been putting up their TGSS posters all around town, and it's been great to see them. There's so many flyers, because Adelaide, of course, being such a vibrant arts theatre city, it's all happening now thanks to everything being reopened. So there's just flyers and posters everywhere. TGSS has been amongst that mix, and it's been good to see them out there. Thanks to Mad Promo Poster and Flyer Distribution. They handle posters, flyers, festival program guides. They do all sorts of stuff for you. Also, AJ's Lighting Sound Events, also taking care of Adelaide Roller Derby, doing a lot of the staging here and things like that. So the plinths that we use for our camera crew, also the stage for our track one, things like that are being supplied by AJ's.
Good on you, AJ's. Otherwise, we'd just be out here talking to ourselves in the corner like a couple of weirdos.
That's just what we do most of the time, isn't it?
Well, it's nice that they gave us microphones eventually.
I brought my own. Kiff is stuck in the middle of the pack at the moment. Haynes is through as your lead jammer, but that LCD defense is cycling through really nice. Kiff trying to do a swing, but a miss on Haynes as they're making their way through, but Haynes got one more to beat. Just touched that inside line. Hips are through those, so the points are there.
Riff Raff doing a great job to re-engage Haynes there. Haynes looked like she was going to go through and just sweep in and put a lot more points on the board. But really good defense there by Tweed Valley to be able to bring that back and put that back under control and keep it to a 4 point.
Yeah, well, the 4 points were there for the taken, so definitely good work by Haynes. Got the hips in front.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
Yep, that's right. The hips do the points.
And some of these hips have a lot of points on. They hurt. All right, lose unit, and it's Sugars.
Lose unit and Sugars.
This has been a nice little matchup. Sugars
finds a spot and then grabs it.
Yep, and well done, because Sugars was up against Blackburn there on the way through. That's not an easy play to get past.
I see a star in a hand. We look like we might be able to go to a pass here. The pivot is waiting, but they are keeping a good job of keeping it separated.
Oh, this is top work. This is Evil Britches, and able to get through, lose unit, teasing that star pass.
And Sugars is in the bin.
Oh, no.
So waving the star around, and then all of a sudden we've got ourselves a 2-minute jam.
Well. And the pack was spread out, so no pack was called.
They've managed to isolate number 20 over in the background, which it's good for them. Mischief. Oh, hello.
So lose unit going through for another scoring pass on one leg, holding that beautiful frame in bounds and able to lean in on the defensive player to stay in bounds. Picks up the 4 points for LCD. Sugars back on track. Blackburn in front. Just, getting that hip hook going. But Sugars picks up another penalty. Well. This, I think that was a forearms as well. So
Sugar not happy about that.
No.
Look, who are we to argue with the refs?
Like the scoop, new scoop, breaking. Skater unhappy to receive penalty.
Slight difference of opinion upon penalty passing. Look, we are starting to see a little bit of a breakaway here towards Light City Derby.
It's taken a good, solid couple of jams. But
we're sitting on a 16-point jam where originally at the start of this jam, Lose Unit was going to be handing off the star.
Yep.
And good thing that they didn't.
Yep.
Because 16 points on the board, probably another couple by the looks. Unanswered. That has definitely put a dent in the Tweed Valley armour. And
it's interesting because at the end of the jam there, looks like Lose picked up a cut track penalty.
Interesting.
So Lose is going to be starting from the penalty box, and we currently have both jammers in the penalty box.
Yep.
So it's going to be Sugars coming out of the penalty box when the whistle blows and when we come back.
Well, no, Kif is out.
Oh, Kif's out.
So,
okay, I thought Sugars was still in there, so it must have just escaped.
Yeah.
All right.
Kif is really going to want to put her stamp on this game right now, because they have 18 minutes. I know there was 8 points.
It was an 8-point jam. So, that official's timeout being used really well by officials here, making sure the score is right before we get into the next one.
That's a good thing to do. Last thing you want to do is lose a random 8 points for no reason.
Well, the ruling, of course, is you can adjust whatever you like between jams, and once the next jam starts, that's it, folks. If you made a mistake, you have to own it, and it can make a big difference. A tight game like this, it will make a difference in the game if you've got a missing 4 points.
Or missing 8 points like we almost had there.
So 120 for Tweed Valley Rollers and 149 for Light City Derby. At the moment, we can do that Derby math. It's a 29-point lead, and that's probably the biggest lead we've had so far, I reckon.
Yeah, look, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see TVR bring this back now. They certainly do well under pressure, so what we can see how that pans out. And if
Kif's off track again, so I don't know what's going on here. We've only got blockers.
Right, maybe it was just to say, but then Kif shouldn't be in the box if Sugar was in there before.
I don't know what's going on, but
surely, if Sugars was in there before, it should still be Sugars there now.
Whatever is happening, it's happening under the watchful eye of the officials. They all know what's going on, even if we don't.
I've never reffed a game in my life, and I guarantee you that I'm right. So Kif lead jammer looking to close this gap. One blocker remains, but that blocker happens to be Dark Side of Doom. So we'll see how that pans out.
Panic also taking a few blows there on the way through.
Blues unit unable to make a pass.
Trying that apex line, no can do.
Kiff in the bin.
Oh my goodness.
Want to watch those penalties. So this is another jam that's going to go the full 2 minutes. And keeping control of loose unit at this point is really the main objective here for Tweed Valley.
Tweed Valley also losing their pivot. That's Riffraff to the Tic Tacs penalty box.
Riffraff is important to that team lineup.
So Lose has now completed their initial and off to score some points here as this power jam is starting to wind to a close. Kiff is back on track.
We've still got Buster out there, one of the strong, big hit there. If you saw that, that was a nice, strong hit
that was
by number 83, Pain Terror.
Oh, loving this game. This is just like Kiff just sizing up the pack there, just looking for a way to get through. Just take that second and now step through. Oh, just touch the outside. Got to go back. Got to do it all again. Loose unit on the outside stays in bounds.
10 seconds. Kiff is just resting on laurels, but I think because she can see the jam clock is just about to tick over.
Panic heading off to the Tic Tacs penalty bin as that jam comes to a close. A timeout called by by TVR. So let's wait and see how these points settle down because there were points everywhere.
There were definitely points for Tweed Valley there. I think it was 3 or 4.
Let's see how we're going. Both the jam refs are over there.
Maybe they're just saying, pick up your game. Who the hell is putting
I can't see your fingers in the air.
Yeah, who's putting these points on the board? Because are they like City Derby fans? Because no more points are making their way to the board for Tweed Valley.
I think what's going on here, they're just making sure that the right number of points are allocated. Yeah. So I can see
there's 4 points there for Tweed Valley.
Yep. So look, this is methodical. It's a tough gig doing this as an official. You're in your third day.
Yep.
These guys have done at least 4 games a day.
And luckily, I'm an expert lip reader, and I could see that the ref went over there and said, "Sort your shit out. I don't care if it's day 3. Put the points on the board." Or something like that, roughly.
Something like that. It's a different language. All right, Haynes back on track, and we've got a new jammer lining up for TVR.
Oh, that is true. I have not seen this jammer skate in this lineup
Can you
today.
turn around? I want to see your number. I can see
they've just been rotating at Kiff and Sugars.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have a look here.
Let's see what we're dealing with.
Maybe 666.
It's 1971. It's Exit Mole. Exit Mole is also lead jammer.
Well.
And, oh no, another TVR player is down.
But getting up. Evil Britches, it looks like.
Came down right on that rope as well. That's not handy.
Bloody
She's on her knees though, so sort of half up.
See, so what happens in this situation? So they reset the jam.
No.
With lead? No. Just call it off.
It's the end of the jam. You call it off for the injury.
Right.
And because it's been called off for an injury, Evil Britches will now have to sit out for 3 jams.
And they don't transfer anything over.
No.
At the end of the jam.
No. So Evil Britches is fine. Skated off under their own power, so that's not a problem by the looks of it anyway. But yeah, so the ruling is if you're on track, you fall down, you're injured, you're hurt, they have to stop the jam for you.
Yep.
You get your medical attention. If you just twinge something or you're winded or something like that, you skate off under your own power. You still have to sit out for 3 jams, and even if you feel fine.
Right.
So that's the injury ruling. You just have to take a break.
Yeah, fair enough. So, like, what I want to know here, Britches. Britches, is that another name for pants?
It is another brand, but I'm not evil.
Britches, your arch nemesis.
This is we had a game yesterday where the actual player's name was Pants.
What the hell?
So I've got an evil nemesis, and I've got a doppelganger as well. This is like a clone almost in
so
derby
much for
form.
having a sport where individual identity is represented.
To be fair, the full name of that player was Cider Pants.
Oh yeah, that's
but
okay.
still, Pants was on the list. And we've got some interpretive dance going on now, thanks to Light City Derby.
Some special effects. So this is where we need to just.
It's got some real
VFX,
Matrix stuff.
Insert some VFX in the end and get some powerful magic going on.
Camera meanwhile is taking in some of the audience there that have joined us here trackside. If you see someone you like or someone you know, I think we found Wally. There's a stripy hat out there.
We are 124 to 57, 33 points the difference, and 16 minutes in this game.
Yep.
Totally accessible to everyone. Is that Tenacious T or no?
No, still exit mold.
Exit mold.
But meanwhile, Haynes skates through the pack, transitions to backwards to exit, and is your lead jammer.
Unfortunate that reset has really gone in the favour of LCD when exit mold just came out and had lead jammer then for a brief moment.
It's kind of unfortunate that TVR have suffered a bit from jammer penalties this half.
Yeah.
I think, and this is quite often the way, someone racks up like 2, 3, 4 jammer penalties, and quite often they're in quick succession because you're in the zone.
And you've got the energy flying.
And then you pick up one OP, and then you pick up your second penalty, and you just sort of think, what am I doing wrong? It affects your confidence. It affects your regular gameplay because you just got that little rattling going on.
Absolutely. We're looking at a
timeout called.
Official timeout.
So looks like our head ref's just coming over to have a bit of a yabba here with our penalty box crew.
Bit of a yell out there for Go the Sugars.
Yeah.
Sugars is
a lot of Light City fans there as well.
Amazing player. I'm not surprised you're supporting her.
Mm-hmm.
I had the distinct pleasure of commentating a couple of times for Sugars and Kip. Both very cheerable, honourable skaters.
Is that a thing? Cheerable, honourable?
Cheerable. That's the official old English. Cheerable, honourable.
From the Anglo-Saxon.
Oh yeah, the etymology of it dates back to early Latin.
Excellent stuff. Hey, and a nice wave from the LCD team to all the fans watching back home. Nice one.
LCD should be playing LCD sound system songs at the gig.
All right, Kiff lining up against Shorty.
Kiff and Shorty.
Shorty with the jump.
Kiff is right behind, but no, getting nudged out last second there by Superfast Jellyfish.
Yep.
Blockers have contained Kiff at this point. Short stack, looking to grab some points.
Kiff trying to encourage some O here, and managed to tease that inside O to get around the outside.
Short stack getting told to call it, so Kiff can't put any points on.
Yeah, little fist bump there from Shorty. It's like, yep, points called, got it.
Oh, yeah.
It's efficient derby, and I'm part of it. Let's change it over.
Efficient derby.
Efficient.
You're part of efficient. I'm part of the inefficient derby.
And thereby there is balance in the force, my Padawan.
Money pad mom.
All right, exit mole lining back up against.
Look, we're still not fielding Sugars at the moment.
No.
So whether or not she's racked up a few penalties and they're trying to save her for the last little section or save her strength to come out fighting,
but Haynes,
the situation.
Haynes, meanwhile, is just absolutely, talk about your resets. Haynes has been on an absolute tear this half.
Like she has something to prove coming back in the second half.
So close to getting through on that inside swoop.
Very fancy footwork coming down right down on the ground.
Haynes still picking up the 4 points there, so well played. Nice butt graze on the way through, though. I can see the concrete has suffered. Such a strong athlete.
Kiff and Exit Mole
just taking turns, really, at the moment.
They are taking turns at the moment. Sugars looks like she's sitting out for a little bit. Maybe they're just trying to play her a little later, but they've only got 13 minutes left in this, so we'll see how that pans out. Certainly Light City are starting to pull away a little bit here. Now 45 points that separates these two. Lose Unit and Kiff up on the jammer line. Let's see how this pans out. Loose units, tries to find inside line.
Nice
does
tip
it.
tap up the inside line, staying in bounds. And Loose Units, your lead jammer. Kiff, meanwhile, up against Panic. Panic just laying the shoulders in, delaying Kiff from getting through for that vital few seconds. More time for Loose Unit to get through and get some points. Knocked to the outside. Now trying that inside line. No can do. And was it in time? Were there any sneaky
I don't know
points?
if it was in time.
Let's have a look.
Kiff snuck through there. Let's see
And
how
it was one sneaky point.
Nicky.
Love a sneaky point.
Well, they're definitely going to need to do some fancy footwork now. Exit
1-7
Mole again,
Yep.
coming up on the jam line.
Yep.
So hopefully she gets a bit nice and warmed up. We haven't had much success in the last few jams, but hopefully, let's see how we go here.
5 seconds is the call. We're about to get underway for the next jam. Jam 15 of the second half here in your Division 3 quarterfinal.
And Haynes.
Haynes stays in, gets the double arm whip from Fuzzy Bear and is off and racing. Exit Mole, meanwhile, looking to get through the middle. Haynes apex jump into the center of the pack, somehow avoids everybody, up on her feet and is through.
Yep,
How's
that's some
that?
really good work there from Haynes.
Haynes just like a projectile coming through that pack.
You'd think you'd be a little bit gingerly approaching the world after you took such a big hit only 20 minutes ago, but that is definitely not the way that Haynes is approaching this game. She is definitely flying in there like she is Superwoman, completely impenetrable.
Oh, but this is what Haynes is like. Once again, it's that LAR, the Little Adelaide Rollers pedigree. They train them really well.
Yeah.
And it's part of that sort of like you're steely, you're determined, you know what you're doing, you got faith in your defense to do the right thing for you. And you know how to pick yourself up.
Yeah.
It's the strength that's mental as well as physical. You can pick yourself up.
We got 10 unanswered points there from Light City.
Yep.
This is starting to get a little bit away from Tweed Valley.
Do you want Sugars back on track? We don't know what's happened with Sugars, by the way, so I don't know if it's just it's a penalty situation.
I think she's got to be close to too many penalties. She may be sitting on 5 or 6, and they just want to make sure that she can make her way through to the end of the game. But this middle section here is certainly suffering without her.
Speaking of middle sections, Bloody Ellis and a couple of other blockers for TVR doing some dance moves. Good to see. Spanky Yankee as well, doing some hip shaking.
Spanky
just
Yankee
to say
has been doing great defense out there today.
Shorty, nice. That little ballerina move, that ice skater move around the outside.
Yeah, almost a figure skater move, that one.
That's lovely to watch. Very graceful. Alrighty, Pack picking up on the back stretch. Coming a cropper, Shorty picks herself back up.
I can't see a blue star out there. Have we? Exit Mole.
That's
there we go.
Yep, Exit Mole.
We are watching a very different Tweed heads out there at the moment. They're very split up. Exit Mole coming in off the bench, trying to get some headway, and that's a cut track going to go to Exit Mole there.
Oh, no.
Just a cut, foot out there.
It's
really hard to tell when your foot goes out sometimes when you're in the thick of it.
But the jammer penalty curse for TVR continues. That's another one.
They are certainly giving up a little bit of room there.
Shorty up against Spanky Yankee, and it was a low block. Yep, so Spanky Yankee's foot tripping up Shorty, so that is another player off to the Tic Tacs penalty box.
Spanky Yankee has been giving a really great game out there today. Awesome blocker.
Meanwhile, Shorty through picks up another 4 points for LCD. As Exit Mole comes back onto the track, please don't get another penalty. Exit Mole trying an apex jump, didn't stick the landing, so going to go back and try again. Shorty, meanwhile, round the outside, picks up another 4. A little bit of argy-bargy in the middle here of the pack.
And Tweed heads look like they've consolidated their blockers. Wow. That's
solid.
one of the other tracks cheering, in case you're a little confused what's happening with the cheering.
That's cats versus dogs. It's a passion game.
It has certainly gone to the way of the animals out there. 125 to 190. That is a 65-point lead. It is a big lead.
We're 8.5 minutes left to go in the game, so still plenty of time for something to happen.
It's not unattainable, but it does
doing their absolute best to get through. Haynes on the outside, trying that figure skater move again, but just not able to keep it in bounds, but has picked up lead jammer. So now is through the pack.
Very, very
And it's
slippery.
another power jam. It's another power jam. TVR in the bin again.
And this is where they're getting really hurt. They're getting hurt because there's only one jammer on the track, and that is an LCD jammer.
But you've got to hand it to LCD's defense. If they're able to tease out these mistakes on a consistent basis,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
it's not just down to a loss of confidence. It's because you're getting hit well and hit hard by an organised and solid D.
Oh, absolutely. And like, you don't just have jammers going out of the track for no reason.
No.
It's because the pressure's on.
It is.
The pressure's on, and there's
Kif
so
made
much
it out. Yep.
that goes on in a to and flow, sort of both sides of the coin situation in roller derby.
Yep.
It's never just one side losing it.
No. There's all sorts of stuff going on. We've got, it looks like Exit Mole and Lose Unit lining up on the jam line for us. Pack closes in. And LCD just trapping the jammer there, slowly edging up on the home straight, spreading out the pack.
That's 601 Blackburn looking just to spread that pack out so they can get a little bit more blocking on here, and we can re-engage a little bit now with an extra skater because we don't have to bridge as much.
Yep. Exit Mole just got Dark Side of Doom to get past, but you don't just get past Dark Side of Doom.
That's right.
Tudo also giving a hand.
Oh, and this is Loose Unit looking to capitalise. The pivot as well for TVR, making their way to the bin.
Loose Unit approaching the back of the pack for their first scoring pass of the jam.
Well,
everything's happening around the round turn 3. We can't see through the officials, sadly. We're just going to take a guess. There's a giraffe on the track. There's a giraffe. No, there isn't. It's a Loose Unit and picks up 4 points. And they've cracked the double century, Light City.
Who would have known at halftime that we'd be looking at this situation now?
Well, no, you just don't know. It could have been the other way with TVR. You just don't know.
No,
it was such a close game at halftime. We were just there going, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
No. And that's it. It's the attrition. And Dark Side of Doom picks up a back block.
Well, look, and what do they say on any given Sunday? The circumstances could change one way or the other. And I think if we're watching this game on a different day, it could have gone to either team. And we saw that coming into the first half. Both very strong teams. And it's just a pleasure to watch these two teams battle it out.
Meanwhile, up front, the star pass has been made. Blackburn picks up a blocking penalty. So LCD are going to be one blocker down to start the next jam.
I will say this for LCD. They've been very good with not drawing excessive amounts of penalties. Most of the time when I look out there and I see a number difference, it's because TVR have got people in the box and LCD have the numbers on the track.
Well, at the moment, it's the other way.
Well, it's a very rare occasion that this has happened in this game.
Yeah. And it's showing up on the scoreboard. You can't get through. You can't get any points.
Absolutely. And just keeping those penalties in check means that you've just got a sheer numbers advantage, which just puts you in a better position to succeed.
Well, I would say if you're an LCD fan watching at home now, you'd be feeling pretty confident that your team's going to hold on.
Oh, absolutely.
But TVR...
I'd be celebratory drinking at home right now if I was an LCD fan.
You'd be celebratory drinking pretty much any situation.
I'm celebratory drinking right now.
That is water in that water bottle, isn't it?
Not a chance.
Trust me, this is coffee. I'm definitely still having coffee.
I am 1/3 Irish. No, I'm not. I'm Canadian, but it's the same thing, except with a maple leaf.
Exactly. And syrup, you've got syrup in your veins.
See, exactly. Do you know how they make maple syrup?
I believe they just basically open up the sky and it descends from heaven. It's like got a halo
now
around it.
Now you're just sucking up pants.
I love maple syrup.
They just drill a tap into a tree, and then they turn it on.
And out it comes.
And out it comes.
Gotta love a country where you just. So I'm going to put it. I think it's like Canada with maple syrup. You got Mexico with mezcal.
Yeah.
You just put a tap into a cactus.
You just put a
These
tap
are the
in
best
and turn
countries
it on.
in the world.
Absolutely.
In Australia, you put a tap into a eucalyptus tree. What comes out? Snakes. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
That's right.
All right, we've got a timeout at the moment for LCD. Haynes is on track for LCD. Looks like we've got Kiff for TVR. Only 2 blockers on for LCD. Dark Side of Doom is standing in the Tic Tacs penalty box, and Blackburn's there as well, keeping the seat warm. So,
now, we just had a question here on the feed. Is Radish out? I haven't noticed Radish get fouled out. I think I can't specifically see her at the moment. But good question. We'll find that out for you and keep an eye out for Radish.
yeah, it's been true. We haven't seen Radish for quite some time.
Kiff has hit the ground. Is Kiff lead jammer? I see no
No.
one. Oh, there we go. Kiff is lead.
Or maybe.
There's two lead jammers.
We've had 2 lead jammers
No,
signaled.
now Kiff is being sent off.
So-
That was confusing to say the least.
Well, I think what happened, because you got the jam ref, seemingly lead jammer, the penalty happens in the pack.
Yeah, but
So
I certainly
it's
didn't
then up
see
to the
call.
other officials to communicate that across. And the second jam ref who signalled lead for Haynes came through and had the word, no, that was a cut track.
See, you've just exposed me for being someone who's easily confused, Pants.
That's okay. It's
all right.
nice to be easily confused. Ignorance is bliss.
It is, and I am so happy this morning to be here at TGSS.
Pack is moving along at quite a frantic pace around here, turn 1 and 2. Haynes gets the points in the call. Any sneaky points?
Not too sure. That's
None.
16 points.
None.
So we are starting to see LCD put in the thumb screws to Tweed Valley at this point in the game. 3 minutes.
It's 101. It's 101 points now. So
101.
Yep.
That was like last night, 99 points, the difference between Adelaide and BCR. We are seeing a similar sort of result, roughly 100 between them.
Yeah, and you look at the game, like last night's game against BCR. We're seeing this so often. If you didn't know the score, you wouldn't know who was in front.
No, that's right. If you were just watching the game and had no idea what the score was, you just wouldn't know where it's come from. Oopsie daisy.
Oopsie daisy.
And Tenacious T, some jammers that we haven't been seeing a lot of, are now getting a bit of a run.
And Tenacious is your lead jammer. No pass, no penalty for Oopsie as the final pass went on. So Oopsie daisy is not your lead jammer, but is now going through and picking up points with Tenacious getting in there now, also trying to get some points on the board for TVR.
Hannah, Morrison and Kerry, I'd love to be able to answer you and see if there has been a foul out for LCD. We're not, unfortunately, in the super best position on this track, and so just grounding for the information we can find. I can't see it Radish standing up in the bench, if that helps at all.
Or sitting down for that matter, so maybe Radish has been fouled out.
Maybe. I can't see her at the moment.
But LCD definitely got the depth. Points on the board for Oopsie Daisy. So points for both teams on that one as we change over.
And look, you know, I would have thought we would have seen Sugars by now, so maybe Sugars has also been fouled out. Because I can't see Sugars anywhere either.
So Kiff now on for TVR. Haynes around the outside is your lead jammer. And Kiff trying to do the same part, trying to open up that outside line. Tudo picking up a penalty as Haynes comes to Cropper trying to look for that apex step through. No can do. Exit Mole says, not on my watch, baby.
No, look, to tell you the truth, Haynes would be my pick for MVP of this match. Having gotten taken out so heavily in that first half, and such an influential part of this recovery in this second half. Now to be over 100 points in the lead when they were trailing at halftime.
How are you feeling about the blockers? It's really just a toss-up, isn't it? Because so many blockers could stake a claim here for MVP.
Look, I would also, Dark Side of Doom has been the last person standing in quite a few confrontations. Is this Sugars? It is Sugars. Sugars is back in the party. I reckon sitting on six penalties, which is probably why we waited till now to let Sugars out. And look, all she needs is a 110-point jam in 27 seconds, and then it's all over for our Light City.
We do have a 2-minute jam.
We do have a 2-minute jam.
It's 2 minutes. So, yeah, we're down to the final jam, guys.
And it's not Sugars. Tenacious is back. No.
Thanks for pointing that on out, Kerry Brown. So Radish is definitely well off the track if she's over at the What Will I Did stall. That's in our market.
Oh, yeah.
So keeping Cherry's cutout company over there.
All right, we have
smiles from the TVR blockers here. They've obviously enjoyed this game. This competition's awesome.
Where is Tweed Valley? You know?
Don't know. I think
they're right here. What are we talking about?
Lou's unit is the sole jammer on at the moment for Light City.
And look, quite perhaps aptly, they'll control this game going into the very end.
Tudo rejoins, so Light City back with a full pack.
And Light City have had complete and utter control of this second half, holding Tweed Valley to pretty much 20 points as they racked up over 140.
Yep. Kif comes back on the track, as does Jaded. So everyone's back on track. I love this. 4-on-4, 5-on-5.
I think the period clock is now out.
Oh, well and truly. Multiplayer signaled, but don't know if anyone's going to get off track here. So no penalty awarded.
All right, unit outside, and
nice.
They have done really well there.
Yep.
Calling it off.
Did we get a sneaky point? And a sneaky point to finish. Hey. Yay! Nice one.
What a great game there from LCD. An amazing second half, converting what they were running behind into an amazing win there for LCD. Great job.
250 at the end against 130.
250 to 130.
So that's good derby math. They take care of us as well.
They do.
So big props to LCD. They have fought hard to get through. They will be playing later in a final. Maybe they could get to the grand final. Could it be another South Australian team in the grand final today?
That would be great for the home fans.
Tweed Valley, absolutely no disgrace. They can hold their heads high as well. That was an awesome game to watch.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much to our 47 out there Boutcast viewers. You've been a real treat to talk to over
At
this.
At least 47.
Today.
Let's quickly run through our list because we didn't really have much of a chance. You want to do Tweed Valley?
Yeah, I'll do Tweed Valley. We've got number 10, Kif, 1616 Jaded, 1971 Exit Mole, number 20 Mischief, 22 Tenacious T, 666 Bloody L, 82 Riff Rap, Pain Terror, number 83, 863 Spanky Yankee, Buster on 8008, Sugars 96, and Evil Britches 99, with Taylor Swiftly and Palligator in the bench.
Let's go through your Light City Derby Sabres as they come around for high fives. 00 Oopsie Daisy, 16 Haynes, 1618 Fozzie Bear, 19 Dark Side of Doom, 222 is Tudo, 23 Superfast Jellyfish, 243 Mercy, 29 Lou's Unit, 42 is Dr. Zappy, 435 Panic, 504 Deck De Morgan, 601 Blackburn, 626 Stitch, 777 Radish, 79 Short Stack, and number 8 Skatebit, coached by Dude of Hazard, Coding Kitty, Riley, Willowmina, and Killer Heidi. It's been an absolute joy to bring this to you today. Thank you so much for your help today, Chief.
It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm Chief Intent, and Pants, it's always a pleasure calling with you.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again on track 1. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. We'll see you later, guys.
Ciao.